Looks like. There we go, guys. That is a nice smallie. Awesome big smallie. I'd like to get a rate on it. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Leaky John Boat Company. Today we are doing some river fishing, but we're going to be trying it out with some ultralight gear. I got some 4-pound test, a little fluger, it's like a 1000 series, little tiny trout reel and a 6-foot rod. I think it's an ultralight, maybe it's just a light rod, but we're going to try out some smallmouth fishing, ultralight gear, 4-pound test. We're going to see what we can make happen, guys, so stick along and we'll see what happens. With this white spinnerbait, I think it's a mini Strike King, just the white little tiny spinnerbait, and we're going to see what we can make happen. This is definitely my favorite spot in the whole river, especially for catching bigger size fish. So definitely starting out here to see if we can get something on the board, and then we're gonna move around a little bit and do some searching, but I think this will be the spot, guys. There we go, guys. First fish, and that's actually something crazy. That is not what I was expecting, but that looks like pumpkin seed sunfish. I don't know, guys. That thing's got some super cool colors on it though, for sure. Ooh, I got him right in the eyeball, so let me get him unhooked. And there it goes. First fish, not a smallie, a little tiny like pumpkin seed or something like that. I don't know what that was, but definitely probably gonna get some different kind of fish, guys, throwing this ultralight stuff. Maybe we don't catch a bunch of smallies, and maybe we catch a bunch of weird little panfish and stuff like that. Maybe we get into some crappie. I haven't caught a crappie out of this section of the river, but I know they're in here, so maybe we get some crappie. There we go. Another non-smallmouth species. A little rock bass. These guys are a blast to catch, especially on the ultralight, guys. Let him go, and hopefully the next fish is a good sized smallie. There we go. That's a smallie for sure. Bring him over here so we can grab him. There we go, guys. Third species of the day. Nice little smallie on the spinnerbait. That is like the perfect size to catch, even though I'd like something a little bit bigger. That's an awesome fish, guys. Let him go. See if we can get into anything else right here before we move on. We're walking, guys, and I don't know what that is. But if you guys know what kind of mushroom this is, let me know. That's pretty sweet looking. The only thing I know about is like morels and pheasantbacks and stuff like that. I don't know a lot about mushrooms, if you can eat them and stuff like that, but pretty cool find in the river. There we go. That's another rock bass. I know there's big smallies in here somewhere, and I want to catch like a 3-pounder on this ultralight setup, because I think That'd be the funnest thing ever. There's another one, 2 casts in a row. And that might be a largemouth. There we go, guys. 4th species of the day. And that is a tiny little largemouth. We don't really get big largemouths in here. I don't know why. We can get 3 to 4 pound smallies, but we never get a 2 or 3 pound largemouth that I catch. At least we're always catching little tiny largemouth out of here. So I don't know if it's the river, if it's the size of the river, size of the hole, but they don't get very big. I'm going to throw this little tiny crankbait on. It's not really ultralight, but it's definitely not big. In my book, fits in the ultralight family for sure. They do make them smaller, but we're going to try this one. I don't know what size it is. I have no idea. I probably got it out of a mystery tackle box a few years ago. So if you guys know what this is, that would be awesome. Let me know. We're going to see if we can catch some smallies or some bluegill or something cool out of the river on it. This thing definitely dives deep and floats up pretty fast, so hopefully I don't get it snagged, but I got a feeling we're going to have this thing only on for a few casts. I just had something come up and hit it. There we go. First cast. And it's another rock bass. So I think we got 3 rock bass, 1 largemouth, and 1 smallmouth. But first cast with the crankbait. Nice little rock bass. There we go. Right next to shore, and it was a little tiny smallmouth, and he made his way back into the river just fine. So we might just fish this slow, let it dive down, watch it come back up. Here we go, guys, another rock bass. On the spinnerbait, switch back to the spinnerbait. Searching for these smallies, but I'm having a hell of a time. Rock bass number 55. We're going to cast here a little bit longer. We're going to move back up to the spots where we caught those smallies, and we're going to see if we can find anything else. Another little rock bass, and this one, guys, is freaking tiny. Get him back in the water. Alright, guys, we're going to finish up using this cheap, old, crayfish colored rattle trap. I know I bought this thing at Walmart like 10 years ago, and it's been hanging out in my box forever. And I just never use it, so we're going to see if this can catch any smallies. I really want to get a big smallie on this video before I get out of here, so searching for smallies now. This thing looks freaking awesome in the water. I wonder if I'm going to catch anything else on it before I snag it, because this thing is definitely not going home with me. I guarantee I snag it right in the bottom, but we'll see, guys. So stick along and we'll see what happens. There we go, guys. That is a nice smallie. That's exactly what we're looking for, and he's doing some aerobatics, so. Oh yeah. Now we gotta be super careful because it's not gonna take much for him to break me off. There we go, guys. First big smallie of the day on the old rattle trap. And we're gonna have to do some surgery to get this guy out of there so he can survive, but probably 1.5, 2 pounds. Awesome creek smallie. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, guys. We're gonna fish this guy out of here. There we go, guys. Awesome creek smallie on the rattle trap. We're gonna get him back in the water as fast as possible. I'd like to get a weight on him, but I'm more worried about him surviving, so push him in the current. He's just gonna take off. Here we go, guys. We're gonna try a little bit more. That was freaking awesome, guys. Perfect little smallie on the rattle trap. Creek fishing at its finest for sure. Cheap little rattle trap. I don't know where I got it from, but I'm almost positive from Walmart and like the discount bin, you know, 59 cents or whatever for those cheap off-brand rattle traps. But when you're fishing in the river and you're gonna snag, it doesn't really matter what you're using. Don't need the expensive stuff, guys. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up today. Thanks for watching. If you guys liked the video on here, subscribe to the channel. And check out the leakyjohnboatcompany.com to get yourself some merch, and thanks for watching, guys. Awesome creek smallie on the rattle trap. Get him back in the water as fast as possible. I'd like to get a weight on him, but I'm more worried about him surviving, so.